Alright guys, so some of you guys might recognize this Scorpion EVO. This is mine and this is a friend's. He purchased this brand new from e-bike and I don't even think he got to play with it, and then it broke. So long story short, I went to go upgrade it and the MOSFET caught on fire basically. It started smoking. Now if you guys don't know, these come with built-in MOSFETs. The MOSFETs are OEM by Airsoft Systems. So Airsoft Systems makes the ASCUs. The Gen 5s I've not tried, but I've had 3 of the Gen 4s fry. Two of the Gen 4s fry. Just like this one did. Just basically they start smoking. It's like they can't handle the drain of like 30 RPS guns. Both of these are upgraded, very similar upgrades. This is mine, this is his. Again, he didn't get to play with it quite yet. We actually had to send it to Ohio Valley Airsoft. It's an indoor field, and the reason why we had to take it there is because ASG would only ship the new MOSFET as a replacement, free of charge, to an authorized dealer. And so Ohio Valley, it is. That's just basically the person we went with. It was the closest place. We frequent there, so it's a good field. So that's what happened there. And Ohio Valley only charged like $10 to install the MOSFET. Now they installed the MOSFET into the gearbox, but didn't assemble anything, which is fine. Actually, that was good for me because I could start from there. I took the gun apart and the shimming was decent, but the bevel gear, the ZCI bevel gear that we were using, the way it was shimmed was way too low and it screeched like crazy. In fact, I actually just completely ditched the ZCI bevel gear because it just didn't work very good. It sounded really bad. So I put the ASG one back in there and it sounds beautiful. It meshes perfectly with the ASG motor. As far as what my friend has for this gun, he has one high cap, and then I sold him 2 mid caps for 20 bucks for 2 because they are used. I gave him a good deal, and then the gun came with one. So he has 3 mid caps and 1 high cap. I think the high cap holds about 400, maybe 300 in between there. Seems to be pretty good quality. ASG overall is pretty good quality control, besides the one MOSFET that fried on this. Now the MOSFET that is in here is now the 2018 MOSFET. The one that's in here, I think this is a 2016 ASG EVO. Now, they changed some things in 2018. That's why I say 2018, because they changed the MOSFET. It's like closed now. It's encased in plastic. Other than that, I don't think they changed anything. There were rumors that you could spam the trigger on these now with the newer ones, but I think this is a 2018 MOSFET, and you can't spam it. It's still decently fast with some upgrades, but you can't spam it like a BTC or some, some HBA engines, which is disappointment. But these are one of the best options for a CQB gun. If you want a gun that you can go from indoor, outdoor, you want a gun that's very, very light, and you don't want an M4, you want something different, this is one of the best options on the market. It's very different. It comes with a lot of features. Quick change spring system, so you can go from indoor to outdoor like that. And now they have the option for a high cap, so you can play outdoor and run some full auto. Alright, so moving some of that stuff out of the way, we're going to go on to details of the gun. Now, I did a video on my ASG EVO about 1.5 years ago. I think I did a formal review, so this is kind of repetitive for maybe those people that have seen it, but a lot of people are interested in this gun. This gun has been around since I think it was 2016 when they came out. Might have been 2015. I feel like it was 2016 though. So they're fairly new guns. In terms of quality control, they're pretty decent, but I have heard of some of them, people go and play once and their gear's just stripped. The one thing about these guns is it comes with some nice features, but it's still got basic parts in it. There's some of the parts in here are what you'll find in a $100 AEG, like a S&T or a Lancer Tactical. The gear set is what I'm talking about. The gear set is cheap Chinese. It has ASG stamped in it, so it looks CNC'd, it looks like official, but it's just cheap Chinese gears with ASG stamping on it. They're trash. So both of these guns have different gears. This one has SHS 12-to-1s, and this has ZCI 13-to-1s. Both high-speed gears. So let's just start from the back and go to the front. We've got a 3-position stock on here. 3 positions. I keep mine in the middle position, but I'm pretty short, so I have short arms, so the short position's pretty good. Folding stock, which is where you access the quick change spring system. You've got a completely plastic body. This gun is probably 4 pounds fully loaded. I would say it's very light gun. It's very short. It's got safe semi 3-round burst and full auto. So some people really like 3-round burst. I don't care for it. If I want to shoot fast, I'm just going to flip to full auto. If I want to get more BBs downrange, the burst isn't for me, but some people just love burst. Got an ambi an ambi mag catch. The selector switch is ambi as well. You're going to get a charging handle up front, which this system is not done right because I have removed the charging handle and bolt in that. This is how it's supposed to be, so it'll lock and then you can hit the bolt and it goes forward just like that. That is how it will come, but I did remove that because there was a piece missing. It's got built-in sights, sorry, not built-in, removable, right? Yeah, removable. It's got like a orange fluorescent, is that the right term? Like a plastic. And then on the back is kind of a peep sight, which you can adjust up and down and side to side. But he has a red dot thrown on here. It's just a cheap Amazon red dot just for looks, pretty much. It looks pretty decent. It's your kind of generic looking reflex sight. The grip on here is pretty comfortable. It is, again, all plastic. It's got a big base plate on here, which I don't really care for. Like, the bottom is big. I guess it's to stop your hand. But it's a small gun with kind of a big base on the grip. I don't care for it, but it's still a very comfortable gun. The hop-up unit in here is plastic. It is very good quality. Again, this one is almost 3 years old, mine down here, and it's got the stock hop-up barrel and bucking, and they shoot fantastic out of the box. Like, range, accuracy, and consistency is fantastic with these guns. Trigger response is also pretty good. Rate of fire is nothing. It's like 18 to 20 with an 11-1. It's not very fast. Again, both of these have high-speed gears, so they're like 23 to 25 rounds a second, so still nothing crazy, but the most recommended upgrade for this gun, if anybody wants to do an upgrade, get high-speed gears. When I say high-speed, I don't mean 16 to 1s. I mean 13 to 1s, 13 to 1s, 12 to 1s, 10 to 1s if you want, but not 16 to 1s, something lower ratio than that to get a little bit more speed. The trigger response does improve. The lower ratio gears don't just improve rate of fire. Rate of fire goes up like 4, but the trigger response also increases. As far as feet per second on this gun, this one is set up for 350 with an ASG M105 spring with a short barrel. It's shooting about between 345 and 355 pretty consistently. Again, the gun is brand new, so the hop-up might need a little bit of break-in. Mine is shooting 370 because I have an ASG M115 in there, which is with the short barrel does 370 for a 370 indoor field or outdoor. This gun comes with about a 400 spring, and I think the spring that was in here was pretty much exactly 400. So he has that as well, so if he wants to use it outdoor, he can do the 400 instead of 350. Now, the battery that is recommended for these, you can get some ASG batteries that'll fit, but I recommend the Turnigy 11.1, it's a Nanotech. Nanotech 11.1 25 to 50C, which is plenty of discharge, and it's a 1300 if I didn't already say that. So it's got a decent amount of milliamp, and that fits in here perfectly. In fact, without the bolt and without the bolt, it has so much room inside of here. Like, this battery goes all the way back. Now, with the bolt in there, it's a little bit tighter of a fit, but these batteries still fit with the bolt and all the included parts. So those are the most highly recommended batteries from me. Alright, so let's go ahead and get it chrono tested. These are 0.2s and a mid-cap. I do have it a little bit overhopped. I don't know if he wants to use 2 5s or 2s. I'd probably do 2 5s at 400 FPS, and then indoors 0.2s at 350. Let's go ahead and put it through the chrono. 352, 351, 354, 353, 353, 353, 354, 350. Very consistent FPS. Let's do some rate of fire here. Oh. 22 rounds a second, 22.7. Now, when the magazine is empty, the bolt, or the gun will stop shooting to replicate a functional real firearm. So you can pull the trigger, click the, and nothing will happen unless you pull the bolt lock down, and then it starts shooting again. So that's a cool feature. Sometimes it'll skip. That has happened before. Like, you'll be shooting the gun skipping like it's dry, but then it'll feed 1 or 2 more BBs, and then it'll stop shooting. So sometimes the magazines aren't the best at working properly, but and they're kind of expensive, but they do have high caps. All right, it's freezing cold, so I put my Carhartt on. So let's just go ahead and shoot some more here. Do some semi. You can see the trigger response. It's very good. These motors are very high torque. I'm guessing 28 TPA. Because of the rate of fire, 23 rounds a second with 13 1s, that has to be a 28 TPA, maybe 22. Because with 16 TPA, you can get 30 rounds a second, like with a Crytek 30K, with 13 1s or 12 1s, with a 11 1, just like this, you can get 30, no problem. I've done it multiple times. So this is a slower motor. That's why the rate of fire is only like 18 out of the box. It's pretty slow. But the motor is good. It's got very strong magnets, nice and torquey. So I recommend keeping it. It meshes great. But just the high-speed 13 1s or 12 1s will highly improve your performance. You can get doubles and triple taps, no problem. This is a good gun because you can't spam the trigger. So that can negate some of the issues that you might have at fields with people complaining all the time. For my case, that Scorpion EVO at an indoor field, people just want to whine constantly, and the refs just want to be on my freaking meat about shooting fast. So that gun right there, I put up to 370 feet per second, which is the field limit at the field that I'm talking about. 370 feet per second with a .2, so I'm going to shoot their field limit, and you cannot spam the trigger with that gun. So I am abiding by every rule, including the feet per second, and not being able to shoot fast, because you just can't shoot fast. So in the end, if people tell me to slow down on the trigger with that gun, whoever tells me that is literally retarded, because you cannot even shoot, I'm guessing, maybe 5 rounds a second on semi-auto. Like half the speed that I can shoot with V12s and all the other guns. It's not fast at all. It's standard double and triple taps, really not much faster than any other gun out there with an 11-1. So that's that. That's what I used my Scorpion EVO for, that 370 FPS limit at that field. It's a good small light gun to be able to use at that indoor field. I can run around pretty easily because it's nice and light. Another magazine. Hit the bolt lock. Let's try 3-round burst. See, it skips every now and again. Yeah, let's try some full auto. Okay, so as you saw there, it did stop shooting, but it skipped there a few times. Sounded like it was empty, but then another 3 or 4, 5, 6, and then it stopped. So it wasn't completely empty, it just was misfeeding. Again, I don't care for these magazines all that much. They're not the best. What it comes down to, honestly, is just semi-auto with any weight BBs with the mid caps. If you want to use full auto, the high caps are your best bet. In fact, here's the high cap. I think these are like 2/8 that are left in here from when he brought the gun over. So let's go ahead and test this. It's a bolt lock. So as you can see there, perfect feeding with a high cap. Alright, so I put .2s in here, so let's go ahead and shoot it with the high cap and some .2s. So not much faster than the stock gun, honestly, but the 13-1s definitely help trigger response and rate of fire. I am using the stock piston in this gun. It's got, what, 4 or 5 metal teeth on it, so it's a decent piston. I still don't trust them. I left this one stock though because the rate of fire is not high. With mine, I had thrown an SHS one in there a while ago. Okay, so here's my Scorpion EVO. Again, I've got this shooting 370 FPS. Full auto. But we're out of ammo here. So these guns are awesome. When they first came out, they were like $450. They were very expensive. I wouldn't recommend spending that much, but I think they're retailing on eBay for like $375, maybe $350. For that price, it's a good price. You are going to pay an arm and a leg for magazines, but they're awesome guns, and you can upgrade them pretty easily. They're honestly easy to work on, and the high-speed gears is by far the best upgrade for this. High-speed gears and a metal rack piston, and whatever spring you want to shoot whatever FPS. That is what I would do if I were you. You get some $20, $25 SHS ZCI gears and $10, $15 metal rack piston and whatever spring you'd like. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.